What's up, Lady Lux? Y'all got to forgive me. I got a lot going on today. But I got a request to do this right here. Grand Rising, Grand Rising. I got a request to do this here. So I'm going to go ahead and do it, get with it, so we can see what's going on. Everybody, before we get started, let me put this down. I can put this on as I walk out the door. All right. Before we get started, if you're not part of the True Spook Patreon channel, to go see these stories that come out every Thursday, head on over to True Spook TV, my Patreon. The description is in the box below. I give you a pre-teaser on my True Spook YouTube channel. That's the other channel, True Spook TV. I give you a prequel about 20, I'm going to say about 15, 20 minutes of what the entire story going to be about. So if you guys haven't signed up for my Patreon to hear these great stories of my life and my grandma's life as a kid growing up as a spiritualist, root worker in the South, please go check it out. Now, good people, without further ado, so I got a request by KJ. She's on TikTok, and let me make sure. I want to go to it and I want to get her name out there because she hit me up this morning and she was like, hey, you need to talk about this. A lot of people are talking about it, and I think you would have a good say on it. I want to give you a TikTok name. I know her real name. I want to give you her TikTok name. Y'all got to forgive me. I should have been prepared and all that good stuff. I don't know if she on here. I don't want to give y'all the wrong TikToker name.
I swear to God, you came in.
I don't care.
You work jewelry to check.
They just be flooding your shit with anything. Well, I can't do it. Well, well, she may pop up in here and she'll put it up. But matter of fact, I stitched one of her sounds to my video when I was shirtless with the bull head. If you could go back to that on my Instagram page, the_Baron_speaks, or the Baron Speaks page, you can find her. But she contacted me this morning and she asked me, she said that she's having a lot of issues with what the make of everybody's talking about the time shift. Now, me personally, I don't too much promote other people on here because that can get convoluted and bad. But as me being a psychic tarot reader, spiritualist, the most accurate I found is this lady called Sloan Bella. There she goes. She's in here. She's in here. I didn't know. Did you change the name on TikTok versus what's on here? So she's in here. Yeah, the most accurate I could find on the time shift is this other YouTuber, and she's a great spiritualist, psychic, and all that stuff, by the name of Sloan Bella. I don't too much consume other people's content, because it influences me, and I like to be influenced by the spirit. But when I did check in on her due to Miss KJ telling me to look her up and stuff, I found this lady is 100% accurate. Kudos to this sister. She's on point. Again, I don't know her personally. KJ told me to look at her profile, and boom, Sloan Bella. That's her name. She's on YouTube, probably TikTok too. But she has the most accurate depiction of what's going on in the timeline. But now I want to give you my depiction on why the timeline is happening. So people, I could take these off because I don't want to see the comments. You know, trolls come in and I don't want to be too focused on that. When it comes to the timeline shift and what it is, so we've been having a timeline shift, but the major shift was in 1995. So I'm going to take you all the way back to 1995. People, pay attention to what I'm saying. In 1995, we had a time shift that was like no other. The guy Stephen King, the horror writer, he tried to tell us in a movie he did called The Langoliers. Please go pay attention to that movie. I don't know if anybody could have related the time shift to The Langoliers yet, but I'm going to tell you as I understand it. When I watched the movie versus learning spirituality, going through my own time shift, various parts of my life, and thundering back to really pay attention to that movie again. So the major time shift of Gen X, the generation that came when Gen X was birthing all their children that are adults now, 25 going on 30 years old in that area. So notice the number I'm giving you. 25 to 30. Some of us was having babies in 95, 97. This is the Gen X energy. I'm 100% telling you the time shift is due to the Gen X energy. We are the X gene. Okay, pay attention. So 30 years ago in 1995, probably 2 years prior, give or take 2 years, everybody started resonating with the timeline shift. In 1995, the movie The Langolier came down. In 1995, if you go through the timeline, you had some very strong happenings. Political assassination attempt. Notice what I'm saying. Political assassination attempts in 1995. Political parties split down the middle. There was a gender war in 1995 as well. But the gender war wasn't with blacks and with black women and black men. The gender war was more on the lines of white women and white men. This was the gender war. LGBTQ plus, they were still in the closet. They had to go tuck and hide in that time frame. This is 30 years ago. Pay attention to what I'm saying. This 30 is very important if the understanding the time shift and everything. So in 1995, we're coming up on 2025. Again, that's about 30 years roughly, right? Pay attention to it. It's about 30 years. All your children, Gen X, if you start having them in 1997, 1995, 94, 93, fresh out of high school, they're going on to the 30-year-old mark or getting very close to it. So this is the 30 mark. Now, in today's climate, 2024 going all the way into 2025 is going to hit your 30-year mark. We have political assassinations attempts. We have gender wars. We have LGBTQ plus community who are in fear due to the new policies and everything that Trump is rolling out, that they're going to have to go through hiding because he said he's dismantling that energy too. So now he's rolling us back. Pay attention. He's rolling us back, rolling us back, rolling us back. Now, how does the movie The Langoliers equate to the timeline shift in the paradigm there is? For the past 30 years, Gen X and our children have been so frustrated with the way life has been going for us. Through the day-to-day hustle and bustle, the mass incarcerations, the murders in the street, the gender wars, everything for the past 30 years, the high price of inflation, wars in the Middle East and Gaza, Israel, all that stuff has been building up to the point that neither one of our spiritual natures or our spiritual man has been able to take a shit. Baron, you funny. Pay attention. We are so backed up with past life experiences. We are so backed up with past life frustrations. We are so backed up with past life reminders of who we used to be that the Langoliers can't do their job. The Langoliers can't come and eat the waste of yesterday to make a brand new future for tomorrow. Again, how does that play into the time shift, people? So it goes into a bigger picture. What they always say, we are inside a dome. We are in a dome. We're trapped here as a soul. Nothing can get in, nothing can get out. We got to constantly reincarnate, re-loop, we re-come back till we learn the lessons. Intergalactic beings trying to get through the dome. There's a magnetic field blocking the elite, the ascended masters, keeping us stuck right here. Well, if you know anything about waste, when you take a shit or a piss in the toilet, we flush that bitch and it goes away. If it don't go away, it will linger. It will create a smell, a scent. That smell, that scent is going to attack our five senses. We can see the shit. We can smell the shit. If we want to, we can touch the shit. We can interact with the shit. So then that means there's a lingering of our past waste or our wasted past that has not been devoured. Now, when you bring that into the time shift, those of us who are operating at a higher frequency, even when we shift into the new frequency, we get pulled right back because we cannot untether ourselves from our past frustration, lack, doubt, fears that has not gone away. These reminders of what we used to be, the reminders of yesterday. This is how we get reincarnated. Now, due to the timeline shift, there are set days to which you're going to shift. One of those days is on your birthday. Everybody shift timelines on their birthday. Nobody is excluded. When you turn 1 year old, according to you, whether you celebrate your birthday every year, every 5 years, every 10 years, etc., depending on your culture, you will shift timelines on your birthday. But the major days that I've discovered, being that I'm going to give you guys my birthday, is August 21st. Now, when we look back in history, and I'm just equating August 21st, 1914. Listen to what I'm saying. 30-year difference. August 21st, 1914, there was the First World War. Everything happened. They conceded. First World War was over, or it was started, fought. The first bullet was fired around about August 21st, 1914. Go all 30 years into the future of that. August 21st, look it up on the timeline. August 21st, 1945, Great Depression, timeline shift, and their stock market crash. That's when it came up there to 1 month or 1 month before August, 1 month after August. But August 21st is the date you're supposed to be paying attention to when you're doing a major world timeline shift. It's not the new year. It's not Jesus Christ's birthday in March or April. This is August. This is the 8th month. Octi. Why is it the 8th month of the so-called new Gregorian calendar? Because 8 is the sign of infinity. This is a constant loop, people. This is the constant loop. That loop pertains to where we're trapped in this dome. August is the time that everybody's timeline shift resets to a simple reality to what it is. Am I losing anybody? I'm going to look at some of these things. I want to make sure I'm not losing you guys. And this is a year of infinity. Come on now. I'm finna break it down to you. Are y'all following me so far? Y'all keeping up with what I'm keeping up? This August 21st date. This August date, the month of August, August 21st, every 30 years. So the 8th month of the Gregorian calendar, every 30 years, you get a major shift. This past 2024, August 21st was my birthday. During that time, I took a ride on my motorbike. Time shifted. I lost track of 3 to 4 hours time. Twice in that day. Again, timeline shift. Come August, Kamala Harris starts saying, hey, I'm running for presidency. She wasn't supposed to be in the running. Joe Biden gets sick. August, the month of August. The timeline shifted right there again politically. See, I'm bringing something to y'all attention. So do your own research. Don't take my word for it. Now, Joe Biden gets sick. They say he can't do it. Kamala Harris takes the place. She becomes the front runner against this new elect President Trump. Now, why did the timeline shift to Kamala? Because she wasn't supposed to be it. A woman wasn't supposed to be it for another 30 years after today. Women was supposed to take the office, but it was supposed to be 30 years, and it was supposed to be a lady from Chicago. This is my future telling you. It was supposed to be a, I don't want to say, she's supposed to be a mixed breed lady, if I can say that without being offensive to the tender asses. She's supposed to be a biracial woman out of the Chicago area, because the Chicago, because listen to me good people, the Chicago people are chosen to be the carriers of the new age. It's somebody out of Chicago, man, woman, or child, that's going to be your new Messiah. I ain't saying religious Messiah, but they're going to be a predominant figure coming from the Chicago, Illinois area. Not next states to Chicago, out of Chicago. The fire burns very bright and hard and heavy in Chicago. Pay attention. In the next 30 years, I may not be here. But the youngsters that's listening, in the next 30 years, your powerhouse, Republican, whatever, Democrat, leftist, whatever you want to call them, they're going to pop their ass out of Chicago, and they're going to be the front runners for everything for the world to see, witness, and go. But back to this right here. 30 years, the timeline shift. Joe Biden falls out. Kamala Harris shifts into this timeline. So that means we're 30 years ahead, seeing right here, we're 30 years ahead of what's supposed to be happening with this timeline shift. The presidential election, and I'm going to help you out. So how many of you guys have been feeling real good? Since the election is over, how many of you guys have a sense of peace in your mind, a sense of calm in your energy? I slept good. The very night, I haven't slept good in months, years damn near. But after the presidential election was over and Donald J. Trump won, I had an excellent sleep. Why? Because I vibrated to a whole nother dimension. And for all of my people born in the month of August, whether you riding with Leo or Virgo, you guys should have had an exceptional wake-up call, because this is when you shifted timelines. This is your birthday energy. He wins in November, August, September, October, November. This is another 3, right? The timeline says, okay, I'm going to make this the stable timeline. Donald Trump was not supposed to be the man here. He was not supposed to win. Neither was Kamala Harris supposed to win. This was supposed to be decided by 2 men. Kamala Harris wasn't supposed to come up until 30 years from now. So now that's just my political take on it. I hope you guys are seeing. Every 30 years, everybody experienced the same timeline shift, but you experience individual timeline shifts on your born day, your solar return. That's the rules of the game. But the reason why we keep experiencing the same timeline shift, and the reason why nothing else can be produced, because being encased inside this magnetic field, this energy dome, the Langoliers can't do their job. They can't eat today. I mean, they can't eat yesterday, and they can't expel their waste. So they're constantly regurgitating old timelines. So they'll throw up, blah, but then they got to eat that again. They'll throw up, then they got to eat it again. So until this magnetic dome goes, we're going to constantly experience these timeline shifts. Now, those of us who vibrate high, spiritualists, manifestors, gurus, psychics, whatever you want to call yourself, ascended masters to be or is. We can see the timeline shift more so than everybody that's trapped in this religious prism. Notice I didn't say prism, because it's still 8, it's still an octi, it's still cubed times itself. So we are trapped in here. But those who vibrate high, who can stand outside the box, we can see the shift and we can see it so clearly. Hell, we experience it. So people, allow me to ask you a question. So during the month of August, fuck it, I'm going to do right now because we had one on election night, the 7th. The 6th, I think, I forget. Fuck it. The 5th or the 6th, whatever. Whenever he was elected, it ain't even important no more. When they called the election on the 6th and they say, hey, this man is president, and everybody had a good sleep, tell me how many people you saw that day. I mean, when you went out into the world, grocery shopping, to your job, your next door neighbor, how many people did you see roaming the streets that you actually knew? None. You didn't see not one person, or you couldn't recognize not one person, let alone focus on one person, because they did not jump with you. They came a day, 2, 3 days later. Now you guys are getting phone calls right about now from those people. Now you guys are getting interaction from the people. Now your boss wants you to come into work. Same thing, status quo. But right after the election was called, the timeline said, I got to stabilize this. And they use an anchor to stabilize it. Now, what did I say they use an anchor? So just for you to clear it up for you guys, the powers that be, the Langoliers, the people who can't eat the past and discourage it and dispel it and get rid of it, they all got together in a collective manner and they say, we need to form an anchor. Where is the anchor? So they looked at Donald J. Trump as an anchor because he has been the one constant thing throughout all of his life. The Trumps have been constant. They wrote a book about Trump, the last president. Pay attention. They had to anchor the Langoliers, the powers that be, the timekeepers, had to anchor something. Baron von Trump, his son, Baron Trump, Donald J. Trump. They had to anchor him. So then they say, well, let's project him to the top of the presidency. Let's bar all other timelines because we're sick. We can't have time going the way it's supposed to go because the Time Lords are trapped outside the box. So we got to create our own, or else we're going to get sick and die, or else time will stop. The world will end. But they can't have the world end. So the Langoliers, the Time Lords, authorized the Langoliers, the people who destroyed yesterday, and told them, do what you got to do to save humanity, to save the timeline and status quo. They decided to elect Donald Trump. Now, I'm going to give you guys one thing to which you guys aren't going to understand, but I hope you do. Since the feministic movement, the feminine energy has been attacked by the male energy. Since women decided to come out of the kitchen, baffle pregnancy, get jobs, rather that movement, and I'm not for it or against it on this live right here. This is information. When that movement started, the male dominated energy did everything it could to halt that movement, but it still flourished. They did everything they could to stop it. The feministic movement took place in what year, people? If I'm not mistaken, the feministic movement took place right after World War II, when the men had to go to work. That was 30 years ago. That was well in the matter of 30 years ago, 45 and all that stuff, from 14 That was in the 30-year mark, round by that timeline shift. Sorry about that. So that's when the feministic movement took place, because the men had to go to war, World War II. Then you get 30 years from that, the 76, you got another world war. You got the Vietnam War. You got all these wars in the Middle East. Pay attention. The feministic movement took place and took guard that, because where they were shipping our men and boys off. So now, the actual timeline was to say within the next 90 years, we need to have a female in office, because they started the feministic movement. It wasn't time. It was rushed because the Langoliers regurgitated a timeline. They ate something, but they regurgitated it, shitted it out, and the shit landed right on us. This is why so many people were so mad at Kamala, but it wasn't her time to get it no way. They said we need to get Donald Trump in because he is a faceted anchor throughout time. He is the first billionaire to time travel. It is what it is. Elon Musk ain't never time traveled. Trump did. His father did. His father before him did, when they stole Nikola Tesla's shit. So he manipulated the timeline for him to win now because he was supposed to. This is why he's there. This is why everybody had a full night's sleep after the election. This is why today I'm feeling invigorated, because the timeline says we can stop it now. We can rest. We can destroy the past. We can get rid of the old. We can. This is why your energy is, even the people that's afraid that Trump is going to send them back to the country, even everybody they are. We can breathe. Because the Langoliers can eat the past, can eat the waste, can eat the fear, can eat the shit. Am I making sense to you guys? So, this is why this man was going to win. Kamala wasn't supposed to for another 30 years. Kamala wasn't supposed to come for another 30 years. 30 years, you will have a woman in office. Done deal. But the timeline shift had to anchor itself. This is why Donald J. Trump is in. This is why you had a good night's sleep. It ain't because his energy brought such a relaxed atmosphere. It was to the point that the timeline is trying to calibrate and restore itself, because timeline shifts are not permitted on this earth. We have a linear time frame. We can't go back. We have a linear time frame. When we go back or we variate from it, it creates ripples in the universe. It throws everything else off. Now, I want to hit you guys. So why is women so important? Women are the people who decided this election. White women decided this election. But if the white woman and the white man decided this election for Donald J. Trump, it was meant to be. But I'm going to break something down to the African-American men and women when it comes to this timeline shift. When it comes to this timeline shift, I'm going to break something down. Black man, black woman. This is the one time throughout all the jargon, throughout all the bullshit, throughout all the social media posts, podcasters, paid celebrity. This is the one time that the majority of us, that the polls was dead damn equal, if not one or two off. 70%, 76% of women voted for Kamala. 82% of men, black men voted for Kamala. 72% of black women voted for Kamala. 82% of black men voted for Kamala. We showed up and we did out. We showed up and we showed out. That right there put us on the same field. With us being on the same field, we was able to give the people of this planet a rest for once. When the unity of the black man and the black woman came together, we put them to sleep. The timeline was okay. It was never meant for us to be separated. The white man and the white woman came together on this mission, and their stats was very equal to getting Trump in. The black man and the black woman, their stats was very equal on the same wavelength, pay attention, to getting Kamala Harris in. It just wasn't her time. But during the time of that energy shift with this 30 years, Naturally, the black man and the black woman want peace, harmony. So we was able to give everybody a rest, a recalibration period, allow the Langoliers to do their damn job. So every time you shift realities, it's a 30-year mark. Now, we may get some broken scatter sites of realities when it shifts. We get it. 30 years is the max, starting from what I could do, starting from 1914, the First World War, because I like to hit major things. Look at what happened in August in 2024. Major timeline shift. But what about the shift that happens throughout the days, 11/11? That's coming up very soon. These are sacred numbers. 11/11. You're going to have 11/12. You got 11/7 today. 7/11 today. These are very much sacred dates. You will experience more timeline shift, but the timeline shift you guys are going to experience is not going to be something change along the major impact of the timeline. That's going to stay the same. The major shifts is going to be in each one of you live, because now the past has to catch up with the new version of yourself. Some of you guys are going to get sick. You're going to be at peace, but some of you guys are going to catch cold. Some of you guys are going to be very dehydrated and thirsty. Some of you guys, food is going to start tasting better because the timeline is shifting. Remember when everything was tasting fake? You drank milk, it tasted weird. You eat meat, it tasted like old ass. You eat cheese, it just didn't sit right with your system. You drink a Coke, it didn't taste right. Everything's flat, tasteless. Now you go and you drink a soda, you drink water, it tastes fucking great. I ate a Dorito, one fucking Dorito. It was 2 left in the bag, and I say, I'm gonna be petty this morning. And I took one out the bag, and I got the bag in the refrigerator. I say, let me eat this one Dorito. I have never tasted such a nice fucking Dorito in my life. It tastes good. I say, damn, I got my taste buds back. I say, the goddamn Dorito tastes good. I say, I don't want to eat this last Dorito. I checked the date on the bag. So that one Dorito is in the refrigerator. I'm going to eat the bitch when I get off live because I'm thinking about it. I like the joke. But back to this. On these sacred days, every last single one of you going to experience a time shift. But the time shift is going to be about people from your past getting in contact with you, catching up with you, rocking with your program. Because here it is. You're their anchor. Because you are the enlightened ones. You are the spiritual beings. A low vibrational person needs your frequency to exist in your reality. I'm going to say it again, because some of y'all don't know y'all power. Some of y'all still think y'all need to beg God and source and universe. Pay attention to what I'm saying. On these important days, people will be reaching out to you. They will be conforming to what you want them to be. They will be doing everything you want them to do, virtually kissing ass to be in your presence. Why? Because your spirit has made you the anchor. You're at ease. You're at peace. Your spirit has made you the anchor for them to see. And if they can't get it, the Langoliers are going to cause them to fall off. They will experience trouble, hardship, even death in their life. Daddies, mamas, daughters, kids, uncles, brothers, son. They will experience death. This is due to accidental at that. It won't be intentional death. It will be resets because they're going to feel out of place. It's going to be accidental because they're going to be distracted. So they will be reaching out to you. So I encourage you to answer their phone call. If you don't get a call from somebody you ain't talked to in 10 years and they calling you today, answer the call if you want that person to link to your energy so you can drag them into the now. Remember I talked about on my live the other day, I said, we're going to have to start sharing our energy. I was alluding to this, but I never wanted to put it in timeline form because I like other YouTubers and other people to stick to a certain genre. And although I watch their timeline energy, I won't, talk about it. But again, subscriber KJ Yeah, go to her channel and hit her subscribe. She's funny, y'all. Go to her TikTok. Put your information in there, KJ. Go to her TikTok and her YouTube and shorts and follow. She be talking mad shit about Diddy. Diddy gonna get out of jail and kick her in her chest. I can tell you that. But she told me to talk about it, so I'm gonna bring it and I'm gonna talk about it. But you're gonna shift on these major days. 11/7 today, people are going to reach out to you and they're going to be asking for your assistance. They're going to be asking for your help, or they're going to be saying, hey, what you're doing, how you're doing. This is a need for them to be in your energy. If you feel the need to do it, counter that. Reach out and say something and bring them on, do a humanity service. Now, when we get to the date of 11/11, this is in 3-4 days, Monday, if I'm not mistaken. This coming Monday, Eastern. When we get to that day, that 11/11 is going to be the balance of it all. This is going to be a balanced day. This is where everybody you've had a conflict with will call and apologize. This is a balancing energy. I was wrong, or my bad, or I'm sorry. This is the day where you can contact that person and apologize 11/11, because this is a equal playing field. 1-1-1-1-1. A. This is a balancing day. Then when we cross over and we get into 11/20, pay attention. On the date of 11/20, this is the whole simple fact to where you get to say, hey, I'm reborn. This is where you, on 11/20, this is where you get to state your power. This is where you post your videos of you looking good in your clothes. You post your videos saying you the baddest bitch, you the sexiest Negro, you got it going on. This is where you boast during 11/20. Why would you boast on that power day? Because you will be going into the year of December. You'll be going into the month of December, which is the original 10th month, but let's just play it with the 12. You'll be going into that 12th month. That 12th month, you break that bitch down, 4 ways, you get 3, right? So this is them, the 3 primes, we'll call them. This is you claiming this for the new year to come. In a balanced economy, and in a balanced world right now, where the timeline have been balanced for 2024 to 2025 due to Donald Trump being elected president, because the Langoliers had to select a dominant figure. This is the time for you to proclaim your excellence on 11/20. I will be posting several pics of me looking sexy, looking good, smelling good, happy. I don't give a damn if a bus hit my damn house out yonder. I'm going to post a picture on top of the bitch saying I'm the man, because I need, going into this January energy, I need the universe to know that this is my statement. This is the only day you can do this statement, and the universe will hear you during this balanced time shift. More than often, we shift time zones and we don't know what it is, but we don't proclaim our greatness in that time zone. So we end up falling back on the regurgitation. Y'all hearing me? We end up getting back into the same old shit, into our past ways and habits, our past ideologies and dues. This is the time, 11/20, when you proclaim your greatness. You proclaim who the hell you are. You proclaim exactly what it is. You do what you got to do, and you stand on it. You tell the universe, 2025, this new year when everybody's celebrating, this is the version of yourself you need to be. And 30 days after that, the winter solstice hit. Pay attention. The winter solstice hit. Another gateway open to the universe. Your comment gets out there to the ether. The ether says they're great. That's why kings are crowned. Jesus Christ. That's why kings are crowned during the month of December, because it was proclaimed November the 20th. I'm teaching you real strong esoteric knowledge. Are y'all understanding what I'm saying, people? Let me look at this. Are y'all getting it? I'm looking. I'm good. I done talked about what I wanted to talk about. Did I give y'all the proper way to get y'all self to the next level? This is the one point in our history where the timeline are repairing itself. We shouldn't get too many more time shifts on a mass scale until 30 years from now. Why they chose the 14th, the 44, up into the 74, all the way up into the 2004, all the way going on until all this 2024 shit. You know how I go, 94 and all that shit. You know how I go. I'm losing track. I'm not a number man. I'm not a numberologist here. But y'all see what I'm saying? That's these 30-year marks. We're balanced. We can move something, harness the energy that's going on right now, and proclaim your greatness. Proclaim the position you want to be in life. Proclaim it. And I'm going to say one thing, and y'all guys are not going to understand this. The angry, bitter men and women out there who has chips on their shoulders with each other, you guys won't get it. But when it comes to this gender war, this is the time for you to say, I love you, brother. I love you, sister. I love you, wife. I love you, husband. This is the time for you to support your opposite gender, no matter the color or creed. White men and white women, y'all better start telling each other how much y'all value each other and love each other. Black men and black women, y'all better start telling each other how much you value and love each other. If you guys want to heal the rift, you better start telling each other you love each other. And this goes for all colors and creeds. Same thing. If you are a white person in general, you better start gathering together with your white brothers and sisters and really practicing some kind of group economics conformity. If you are a black, Haitian, Jamaican, Bayesian, dark Asian, I don't give a damn. You guys better start coming to goddamn together, because at this point in the game, our eyes are open. Our eyes are wide open. Our ears are open. Our hearts are open. This magnetic field can help us understand each other cognitively and lovely, and we can create something beautiful. Because during this shift, although we're on the same path during this shift, when the next shift come in 30 years, depending on what we do with this energy on 11/20/2024, before 2025 hit, it can be chaos or it can be grand. This shit is up to you. Now, before I let you guys go, have anybody, did I answer any and all questions about the timeline pertaining to how I see it? I want to, do y'all got any questions about the timeline? Because I talk a lot about what I knew, but I want to give you guys a chance to ask me a question, and I answer to the best of my ability on how I perceive the timeline to be. Okay, Priscilla, thank you. You learned a lot, KJ. Thank you. And thank you for requesting that I do this. I like to keep stuff like this to myself because I don't want people to think I'm that smart, but I love all things occult, mystical, and supernatural technology. I love it all, man. It all plays a part. What about 12/12 and 12/21 these years? See, thank you for saying that. The 12/12 and 12/21, these are resets. The 12/21 is your is going to be your winter solstice, the time frame of the winter solstice. The 12/12 is just preparing yourself to do the winter solstice. So when 12/12 hit, these are reset energies. This is where you do your New Year's resolution. This is where you create the life, the energy that you want. This is where you map out what you want to be. And when you and I hear some esoteric spell work that I want you guys to understand. Can you hear me and pay attention? So during the day, on the day of 12/12, I want you to write yourself a nice letter to yourself. Handwrite it. If you can't handwrite, put that bitch in your mouth and you take your damn time. You'll get more concentration with it. Don't type. Don't email. Go back to the old school. Handwrite it. Pen, pencil, don't matter. You're going to handwrite everything you want the universe to see, do, understand, and think about you. Handwrite it. When you get through handwrite it, you're going to, while the paper is upright, you're going to draw a pentagram up front, the star. You're going to draw a pentagram across the whole page. One. Don't do multiple. One encompasses the whole page because you're what? Putting that energy that you written inside the pentagram. Now you're going to take a mirror. You're going to sit it in front of the sun, facing it towards the east. You know, land of the rising sun, you face it towards the east, and you're going to sit it in a windowsill. You're going to sit it on top of your car, put a rock on the bitch, but make sure that mirror is there. You're going to have the mirror to where when you put it at the top of your paper, it looks reversed. When the sunlight rises, you get me? When the sunlight rises, it's going to shine the light, and the universe, the sun, is going to read your petition on 12/21 when the gateway open for the winter solstice. When kings are made, you say another prayer to the ether without even saying a prayer to the ether. They have to get your energy right. This is where your will come to. This is why on December the 2nd is the annual sacrificial day. See, I tell my Patreons, if you a Patreon member and you support me on the Patreon, I don't give a damn if you the $5 tier or a higher one. If you could get me your letter to me before December the 2nd, that is the annual sacrifice day. There is not a proclaimed deity you do it to. You sacrifice that day for the kings to come. Was it who was it that Moses? I forget who it was in the Bible. I'm not a Bibleologist. Who was it that walked around and proclaimed the new king? He would burn the entrails of the sacrificial lamb. And everybody tried to stop him. Oh, don't let him go over here to this village, because if he go to this village, the king will be selected from their village. The Messiah. I think it was Moses. I don't know. Joshua, one of them two. I don't know. Who know the Bible? If y'all know the Bible, put the name up there. He was a drunkard too. He was drunk. Ain't that something? A drunk man got to choose the king. Say it ain't so. But in the Bible, but he was the one. And he did this on December the 2nd. This is a pagan ritual that the Christian Bible adopted, to which you should be sacrificing something December the 2nd every year if you are a spiritualist, if you take this serious. Why December the 2nd? 12/02. Because this says, here's your offering to the king. You got me? You have to give an offering to the king December 2nd so your petition can be heard. This is why I'm telling my Patreon, send in your petition, whatever you want. Send it to me. If you're a Patreon member, make sure your name matches your Patreon name, because I'm going to check. I'm supposed to have 300 letters. If you don't do it, that's on your ass. And I ain't going to say it. I got 7 letters so far. And I've been harking this for 3 months. People don't even give a damn about their own blessings. I'm doing a universal sacrifice according to how I was taught my spirituality. For any and everybody that support me, I have to give that energy, and I'm going to do my thing, and I got to make my own grill in the backyard, and I'm going to fan it for 2 days, never letting that ember go out until that thing turned to ash. That's my thing. December 2nd. That I'm doing that for my Patreon, but if y'all guys want to do it for yourself, by all means, do a sacrifice. Give a couple of dollars, not one, not two. Give some substantial. Give a $50 bill to a homeless man or a homeless woman and sacrifice. Just because you got it, that ain't a sacrifice. Give them something you don't have much of. Even if you don't have much time in the day, go out and lay hands on them and pray on them and speak blessings on their life. Don't pray, just speak a blessing on their life. That's a sacrifice of your time. It's great. But do it on December the 2nd of every year. That's how you handle the winter solstice that's getting ready to open up. So just so I can help you guys understand a little bit more, and I want you guys, and I like to teach, to help you guys understand about the different, the spring equinox, summer solstice, winter solstice. They got so many the way they call. So you have two patron saints out of the Bible. The patron saints represent pillars in Freemasonry. Pay attention. You have, when you're looking at your tarot deck, it has the temperance, the one that sit between the two pillars on your tarot deck. So you have John the Baptist. That's when the water has thawed. It's springtime. You have John the Baptist, and then you have John the Evangelist. You couldn't baptize anybody in the spirit, so you had to baptize them in the word, verbal, talking, conversation. So you have John the Baptist, springtime. The water has thawed, the winter has broke. Then you have John the Evangelist. This is spirit, this is air, this is cold. The waters are frozen. So in between those two pillars are the portal. You, when you put the black dot in the center of the portal, you become what? The sun. The sun shines through those two portals. This is why Hollywood call it magic fingers, by the way. These are magic fingers. These are represent two portals. That's why they be like, action. Pay attention. These two portals. When you done made a sacrifice during the spring equinox, or however they call that, different solstice, summer solstice, winter solstice, however they call it. When you done made your Ebo during that time, and in that time, you have created a link. The thing is going to hear your voice, and you make that last one. Your petition is in the middle. They come through that beam and they bless you for what you want. This is how the elite stay rich and everybody else, and the healthy stay healthy. These are the secrets they know. So, December the 2nd, before the winter solstice hit, have your damn petitions, playing out your sacrifice. Do what you got to do. Let the universe know that you obeying the laws of the universe. The Bible adapted it and they just hid it with names. I'm telling you how it worked. Am I making sense to you guys? You're welcome, Empress P. Am I giving y'all some real esoteric knowledge? All y'all spirituals out there, how many of you guys knew this? This is the study of it. This is not just sitting up there saying, I'm going to be one religion, one ideology, one spiritual system. This is the ideology of it. I'm taking it upon myself to do this for my Patreons. It is what it is. Y'all mail that letter. It has to be a handwritten letter. It has to be to me before December the 2nd, because on December the 2nd, I am going to slaughter that thing that I purchased for you guys, and it is a good one. I made sure it had no blemishes, no hurt on it, and I'm building the grill myself to do it, the makeshift grill. You have to build it every year yourself. I'm doing everything right to help you guys because this is the year the timeline has restored itself and the energy and the Langoliers can expel their waste through these portals of the winter solstice and the summer solstice. They can expel the waste to make way for new. And I'm trying to make way for all your blessings. So if you're a Patreon, get me that damn letter. A paid Patreon member, let me say that, because I got 700 patrons and only close to 300 is paid. If you a paid patron, I don't care what tier you select, and you send me that letter before December the 2nd, I am going to put it on the pyre. I am going to do the sacrifice just like they used to do in the Bible. I am going to follow the tradition to which I was taught by grandmama and a bunch of other spiritualists. And I'm going to do that blessing for you guys. I'm going to have my own letter in there myself. So I'm going to do the spell with or without you. I'm just saying, hey, join this. The P.O. box is in the description box below. Somebody will put it up here. But yeah, but listen, my patrons, please put your name on there to what your Patreon name is, because I'm going to check it. If your Patreon name is Lickum Low 3000 and you put in there Brenda Carsgreek, I'm going to toss that shit because I'm under orders from Spirit. I'm under orders from my Baron to do this. I have to do it like he say. If they support you, you make sure they support, and I'm going to do what I got to do for them. That's it. Ms. Davis, the proper way to write your petition right now is just what you feel. Don't put nothing in that petition that you don't want to happen. You put everything in that petition that you want to see happen. Don't be like, I don't want to be sad no more. I don't care about what you don't want to be. I want to be happy. I don't want to be sick anymore. I want to be healthy. Don't put in there what you don't want, because the energy is reading it too. I don't want to be sick anymore. They saying, oh, this person's sick. Then let me fix one thing wrong with them. But then that leaves you susceptible for another sickness. I don't want to be sick anymore. I don't want to be poor anymore. I don't want to lack anymore. I don't want to have lack of ambition anymore. You see what I'm saying? You got to say, give me ambition, give me strength, give me power, give me a family, give me that baby, give me whatever I want, desire. You got to command it. Don't tell them what you don't want. Tell them what the fuck they need to give you. You painting your life. You're creating your life. The portal is going to open up for them to read your thoughts, your desires. Stop letting fear, lack, depression, doubt, dogma stop you from claiming your damn right to be a god. I'm God status. I could conquer any damn god I choose. I could beat all principalities. I just got to know how. That's my petition. Give me the inner knowledge, the wisdom, and the strength to fight any battle that comes up to me to try to stop me from my glory, my elevation. That's my petition. Make me the best father, the best lover, the best husband I can be to my new wife to come. Allow temptation not to fuck that over. I got my petition wrote, baby. That's a few. I got 3 letters. I'm not fucking off. I'm creating a new version of me. Spirit got to hear me. So y'all do what you gotta goddamn do. This is your world. This is your power, people. I know I'm a bleeding heart. I know I'm a bleeding heart. I know I'm a softy. God damn it, I'd rather be soft than hard any day. Because with soft, baby, I can absorb shit and throw it right back at you. Hard, I mean, it's going to dent me and damage me. Y'all better learn the laws, baby. Learn the laws. Empress P, your husband can't write himself? I'm really looking at this. Your husband can't write himself? Roots. Did you say the spirit, the spring and winter equinox or something. I don't know the difference between them equinox. I just know January, February, March. Around by March and April is one, and then December is the second. I don't know what they call it because people call them so much shit. Empress P, I'm talking to you. You say, could you write your husband's petition? If he has not the ability to write, then yes, you could write him into your petition. You can't write it for him because he will have to be a separate subscriber to the Patreon. It can't be you, and then you get me two letters because you're a subscriber. The Baron got strict rules. Who all support your Patreon, I'm gonna bring them blessings because they need to keep me on the road and they know my intentions are pure. Now you can write a petition if you guys just gonna do one Patreon, and you can write it in for him, your kids, my kids need this. This is what I want for my children. This is what I want for my husband. But the heart's desires, wants, that need to come from him. They need to come from anybody who doing their singularity. And yes, no exceptions. You have to be a subscriber to my Patreon. That's a message they was given. Take it or leave it. Say, Baron, you're full of caca. Don't care. That train gonna go on with or without you, baby. It is what it is. The people need the Patreon link. I don't know how to put it in here on this thing right here on the phone. I don't know how to get all that. Who can go to my thing right now in the chat box? I mean, in the description box of all my videos, and put the Patreon link up here. And then I go in the comments and copy and paste it and put it in the comments under this video when we done. Yeah, Patreon link is in the description box always. You have to choose your own tier. I don't care if you get the $5 tier or the higher tier. As long as you support, you support. I know you subscribe, Kathleen. Make sure you put your Patreon name. If you ain't under Kathleen, which I know y'all, make sure you put your name that you're going under, because I'm gonna literally take time to match the names with the letters. I don't read your letters. I don't know what you put in them. You can put your Patreon name on the side of it if you're doing a PO box or mail into the PO box like that. I just take them, match them, and I put them where I got to do. I do my do the that I do to them, and I burn them, and that's it. But y'all gotta have those letters to my PO box before December the 2nd. I will check it on December the 1st, assuming that's not a holiday or something. The PO box closed. Let me see, when is December the 1st. So December the 1st is on a Sunday, Sunday, from what they're saying. So that means you guys will have to have that thing into me November. Let me go down. That's January. You guys will have to have that to me November the 29th. I know, November the 29th. I want to make sure. Yep. Because the post office run on that Friday, and I go check it, and I'm gonna go check it the 29th. If it's not to me by the 29th, I'm sorry, it ain't gonna happen. So each mail take 3 to 4 days. So you guys better get with the clock is ticking. I mean, come on now. Don't let a blessing go to waste. Don't be too damn lazy to write a letter, buy a 50-cent postage stamp, and send it for your better good and the good of your family and people. I can't make this shit up, man. People, that's laziness, people. It's like you're thirsty, a bitch giving you a glass of water, and you say, I just don't want to walk over there to pick it up from his hand. I'll wait. Somebody will bring it eventually. And your thirst died. Just saying. All right. Okay, everybody, I'm finna let you go. I got somewhere to be. I got to start my spiritual ritual for other people today. I'm gonna let you go. I hope I answered you guys' questions with the timeline. I hope I gave you guys a nice ritual to do concerning this thing today at 2:30. True Spook TV. You gotta get 12 to 15 minutes of my story that's on my Patreon. Go to the Patreon and subscribe to the Patreon channel to hear the full story. True Spook TV. This one here is gonna be a tearjerker, people. I was crying, telling it, but I manage. These stories are very true. They're very real, and they're part of my upbringing. And if you guys want to hear the full story, go over there and check it out. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys go. I am the Baron, telling you guys to trust you and the universe, because at the end of the day, that's all you got. Please like, share, subscribe, comment under this video so they can stop shadow banning me. I don't have no negative content, but people still report these pages because they just don't like the positive energy I put out, and that's acceptable. But y'all throw some comments after this video ends if you get a chance, if you're thinking not robbery. All right, everybody, y'all be good. Have a good one.